Season 1 of The Bear opens with the emotional return of Carmy Berzatto to his hometown of Chicago. Once a rising star in New York's elite culinary scene, Carmy has walked away from a prestigious position to take over his late brother Michael's struggling sandwich shop, the original beef of Chicagoland. It's not just a job, it's a deeply personal mission tied to grief, guilt, and unfinished family business. Michael's death by suicide has left Carmy shattered. He was Carmy's older brother, distant, troubled, and always a bit of a mystery. Michael struggled for years with substance abuse, hiding his addiction behind a curtain of charm and poor decisions. Carmy, who longed for a deeper connection with him, never got the chance to work beside Michael, to bond in the way he had imagined. The restaurant is all that remains of that broken relationship. Taking over the beef isn't simple. It's a chaotic, outdated place filled with dysfunctional systems and a staff used to doing things the old-school way. There's Richie, Michael's brash best friend, who refers to Carmy as cousin and resists every change Carmy brings. Then there's Tina and Ebra, veteran line cooks stuck in their habits, Marcus the curious baker, and Neil Fack, the affable yet slightly clueless handyman. Carmy, trained by the best chefs in the world, brings a new philosophy to the kitchen: structure, precision, respect. He insists everyone call each other chef, a nod to mutual dignity in the kitchen, but Tina sarcastically calls him Jeff. Friction is constant. Carmy is passionate but temperamental, and his ideas often clash with the team's comfort zones. Beyond the kitchen, there are even bigger problems. Michael left behind a financial nightmare, massive unpaid taxes and a $300,000 debt owed to a family friend known as Uncle Cicero. Carmy's sister, Natalie, who struggles with being involved in something so tied to family trauma, reluctantly helps him sort through the mess. Together, they face overdue bills, broken equipment, and a mounting pressure to save something that seems destined to fail. Amid this chaos, Carmy hires Sydney Adamu, a young, ambitious chef who deeply admires his career. Sydney brings fresh ideas and a burning desire to prove herself, but she's impulsive and impatient, quickly butting heads with the rest of the team. Still, Carmy sees her potential and slowly starts trusting her, making her a key player in his vision. Meanwhile, Marcus becomes fascinated with pastry, experimenting with new ideas and dreaming bigger than ever. Tina, initially hostile toward the changes, begins to grow, taking on new responsibilities and rediscovering her own value. Ebra, on the other hand, resists nearly every shift, holding on to the past. But just as Carmy starts to see signs of progress, personal pressure mounts. He's haunted by his brother's absence, by the letter Michael never left, by the questions he can't answer. He works obsessively, avoiding his feelings, refusing to stop or breathe. Eventually, the pressure explodes. During a particularly overwhelming service, Carmy lashes out at Sydney and Marcus, destroying the trust he had worked so hard to build. Sydney quits. Marcus, hurt by Carmy's harsh criticism, also walks away. Carmy is left alone in the kitchen, emotionally spent and full of regret. It's only then that he reaches a breaking point. He attends a support group for families of addicts and finally opens up about his pain. He speaks about his complicated love for Michael, the dreams they shared, and the silence that always stood between them. He admits that reviving the beef was never just about food, it was about trying to reconnect with a brother who never let him in. That honesty becomes a turning point. Carmy apologizes to his team, and Sydney and Marcus return, stronger and more committed. Richie, still struggling to find his place, hands Carmy a letter he found hidden by Michael. In it, Michael writes a few simple but powerful words: "Let it rip." The letter includes the Berzatto family spaghetti recipe, one Carmy hadn't made since childhood. As he prepares the meal, Carmy discovers something incredible. Hidden inside each of the many small tomato cans Michael insisted on buying are bundles of cash, enough to pay off Cicero's entire loan. The money, likely Michael's own convoluted way of preserving the business, becomes a gift from beyond the grave. Carmy cooks the spaghetti and serves it to his team, his chosen family. As they eat together, he announces his plan: the beef is done. It's time for something new. Together, they'll open a restaurant called The Bear. Season 2 begins with ambition, uncertainty, and a ticking clock. Carmy and Sydney are now partners in building The Bear, a fine dining restaurant on a fast-paced timeline. They ask Cicero for a loan, with a risky agreement: open in 18 months or lose everything. To meet this near-impossible goal, they set a 3-month deadline. Natalie becomes project manager, organizing permits, contractors, and construction with help from FAC. The kitchen is gutted and redesigned. Everything rides on the team's ability to evolve. Tina and Ebra are sent to culinary school to upgrade their skills. Tina flourishes, rediscovering her confidence, while Ebra struggles and eventually drops out. Yet Tina's determination earns her the role of sous chef, an achievement she wears with pride. Marcus, seeking deeper inspiration, trains under Luca in Copenhagen. There, he learns more than technique, he gains insight into why he cooks. He returns to Chicago transformed, carrying both new skills and a quiet affection for Sydney. Richie, lost and bitter, feels increasingly useless. His marriage ends. His bond with his daughter weakens. Carmy sends him to Ever, a luxury restaurant, where Richie is forced to confront what excellence in hospitality truly means. He watches the staff at Ever care deeply about every detail. Something clicks. Richie returns with a newfound sense of purpose, wearing tailored suits and leading service with pride. As opening day nears, the tension rises. Sydney, desperate to avoid the failure she once experienced with her catering business, puts everything into the bear. But Carmy, distracted by his new relationship with Claire, his childhood crush, begins to lose focus. The staff notices. Sydney feels abandoned. Carmy tries to balance love and work, but the pressure is too much. His relationship with Claire brings him happiness, but also guilt. He fears vulnerability. He fears letting his team down. He fears becoming like Michael. Natalie, meanwhile, announces her pregnancy. For a brief moment, there's joy. The team celebrates quietly, united by more than just the restaurant, they are becoming a family. Opening night arrives. The restaurant is beautiful, the staff poised. Ebra returns to manage the sandwich window. Sydney receives a custom chef's coat. FAC is now full-time. But as service begins, Carmy gets locked in the freezer, a task he meant to fix but forgot, too distracted by his personal life. From inside, he spirals. Claire hears him angrily confess that she's a distraction, that his life can't have both love and success. Devastated, she walks away. Yet the restaurant shines. Richie and Sydney carry the night with grace and control. Every dish is served with care. The guests are thrilled. Despite Carmy's absence, the bear has found its rhythm. Donna, their mother, comes to the restaurant but can't bring herself to step inside. She watches from afar, still emotionally distant, unable to share in the joy of her children's success. Carmy, trapped and alone, reflects on the cost of everything, on what he's gained, what he's lost. Claire is gone. He missed opening night. And yet, something has changed. As the episode ends, Sydney walks through the quiet kitchen. She isn't haunted by doubt anymore. She smiles, feeling something she hasn't felt in a long time,